Hello everyone. Today we are exploring a paradigm shift in Google Ads optimization titled Negative Keywords at Scale. For years, Performance Max was often criticized as a black box, a powerful algorithm that lacked the transparency and control needed for professional precision. However, the landscape has changed. With the introduction of the 10,000 negative keyword cap, we now have the ability to sculpt traffic with unprecedented accuracy. Our goal today is to understand how to stop PMax from spending where it shouldn't and how to carve that black box into a high-performance profit machine. We will move through 4 key stages: opening the black box, understanding the why behind traffic sculpting, identifying what to exclude, and finally, executing the sculpting playbook. Let us begin by looking at the fundamental change that made this level of control possible. The biggest news for digital marketers in early 2025 is that Performance Max just got 100 times more controllable. Previously, we were limited to a mere 100 negatives, often requiring a formal request to a Google representative, a process that was slow and restrictive. That quiet change has now become a loud opportunity. We have moved from 100 to 10,000 negative keywords per campaign, providing enough headroom to truly refine the traffic PMax serves against. Crucially, this is now a self-serve feature. There are no more rep requests or waiting for forms to be processed. You can add negatives instantly within the Google Ads UI. Furthermore, search term visibility has improved significantly. PMax now displays search terms, channel data, and asset performance, allowing us to make decisions based on actual queries rather than educated guesses. This transparency is the foundation of our new control formula. To appreciate the new cap, we must look at what the black box was costing you. Without sufficient negatives, PMax often claimed your brand traffic, soaking up cheap brand searches that would have converted organically. This inflated your ROAS while hiding true prospecting performance. It also leaked budget into junk queries, terms like free, jobs, or why, which have no path to profit. Furthermore, the algorithm frequently drifted into bidding on competitor names or loosely related terms that you never intended to pay for. Perhaps most damagingly, PMax often cannibalized your dedicated search campaigns, overlapping with your manual keywords and muddying your reporting. The old cap of 100 negatives was simply never enough to fence off these leaks. Every dollar spent on these irrelevant or redundant queries was a dollar taken away from high-intent, incremental growth. By identifying these costs, we can see exactly where our sculpting efforts need to be focused. What exactly does sculpting traffic mean? It is important to understand that negative keywords do not shrink Performance Max. They aim it. Think of every query as a raw block of marble. PMax, by default, matches against everything: brand, junk, competitors, and real buyers. Sculpting is the process of using a negative keyword filter to carve away the noise. When you remove up to 10,000 unwanted queries, you are not just saving money. You are forcing the algorithm and your budget to focus on relevant, profitable intent. By carving away brand terms, low-intent searches, and off-topic queries, you ensure that the traffic you keep consists of high-intent buyers searching for exactly what you sell. This is traffic worth paying for. Sculpting ensures that the signal the algorithm receives is clean, allowing the machine learning to learn from success rather than from accidental or low-value clicks. When we begin the sculpting process, there are 4 primary buckets of waste worth excluding. First, brand terms. Searches for your own name are often incremental free. You should decide whether to exclude or isolate them deliberately. Second, junk and wrong intent queries. These are no purchase searches like celery or meaning that drain budget. Third, competitor names. Unless you have a specific conquesting strategy, you likely don't want to pay for loosely matched competitor queries. Finally, low margin or wrong products. These are queries that might convert, but they do so for products that lose money or fall outside your priority categories. Be deliberate in your approach. The goal is to exclude what wastes money, not every single query that isn't a perfect match. By fencing off these 4 buckets, you create a protected environment where your budget is reserved for the most valuable opportunities available in the marketplace. The decision regarding brand traffic is perhaps the single highest impact choice you will make. PMax loves brand conversions because they are cheap and easy, but this can be deceptive. If you leave brand in PMax, your reported ROAS will look inflated, but your true non-brand prospecting performance remains hidden. It can also cannibalize your dedicated brand search campaigns. Conversely, if you exclude brand from PMax, you force the algorithm to go find genuinely new demand. Your non-brand performance becomes visible and honest, providing a much cleaner read on the incremental value that PMax is actually adding to your account. You can achieve this by using campaign-level negatives or the brand exclusions list. My advice is to be deliberate. If PMax is genuinely driving incremental brand demand, you might keep it, but you must measure that incrementality rather than simply assuming it is working in your favor. It is vital not to confuse negative keywords with search themes, as they pull in opposite directions. Negative keywords are exclusions. They are a hard fence that tells PMax what not to serve against. You have 10,000 of these per campaign, and match types like broad, phrase, and exact apply strictly to block queries. Search themes, on the other hand, are positive signals. They are nudges that point the algorithm toward the intent you want to pursue. You can have up to 50 search themes per asset group. While themes aim the campaign at the right demand, negatives trim the edges that the campaign shouldn't touch. They work best together. Themes provide the direction, and negatives provide the boundaries. By using both effectively, you provide the algorithm with a clear map of the territory you want to own while marking the areas that are strictly off-limits for your budget. How do you find what to exclude? You finally have and you should turn it into a negative list using a repeatable 4-step routine. Step 1. Open the search terms report now available in PMax to see the actual queries your budget is matching. Step 2. Mine your existing manual search campaigns. Cross-reference those reports to find waste patterns that PMax is likely sharing. Step 3. Group the waste. Sort your findings into the buckets we discussed: brand, junk, competitor, and wrong intent. Finally, Step 4. Set a review cadence. Add negatives weekly at first, then transition to a monthly review. The negative list is never done because search behavior is constantly shifting. No more guessing is required. The search terms report tells you exactly where the budget is leaking. Your job is simply to listen to that data and act on it consistently to maintain a clean and efficient campaign. Let's look at the contrast between an unsculpted and a sculpted Performance Max campaign. In an unsculpted campaign, brand spend soaks up cheap clicks, junk queries are funded silently, and wasted budget remains high and invisible. The algorithm learns from noisy intent, and while the ROAS might look good, it hides significant waste. In a sculpted campaign, brand spend is isolated or excluded on purpose. Junk queries are fenced off by negatives, and wasted budget is trimmed and tracked. Most importantly, the signal quality improves because the algorithm learns from clean, high-intent data. This makes true non-brand profit visible. You move from a state of limited control, capped at 100 rep-gated negatives, to a state of total control with up to 10,000 self-serve negatives. The same campaign and the same budget can yield vastly different results depending on whether you choose to sculpt or let the algorithm wander. As you begin using this 10,000 keyword cap, be wary of 6 common mistakes. First, using no negatives at all. Don't let the algorithm wander aimlessly. Second, dumping 10,000 keywords blindly. Pasting a giant list without data behind it can choke your campaign's reach. Third, over-excluding. Cutting too aggressively can block converting queries and starve your delivery. Fourth, using the wrong match types. A broad match negative can quietly block far more than you intended, so be precise. Fifth, cutting brand blindly. Always check if PMax is driving real incremental demand before excluding brand entirely. Finally, the set-and-forget mentality. A negative list is a living asset. If you build it once and never revisit it, you will miss shifts in search behavior. Treat the 10,000 cap as a scalpel, not a sledgehammer. Use it with care and precision to refine your results without damaging your campaign's healthy core. In conclusion, I present the traffic sculpting playbook. Your first priority is to audit. Open the reports, tag your waste, and estimate the spend in each bucket. Next, you must exclude. Add campaign-level negatives, choose your match types carefully, and build shared lists to reuse across your account. Finally, you must maintain. Review your data weekly, expand toward that 10,000 cap as you gather more data, and always watch your actual profitability rather than just the ROAS figure. Remember, negatives don't shrink Performance Max, they aim it. By following this playbook, you stop being a passive observer of the black box and start being the architect of your own success. Sculpt your traffic toward profit, use the tools Google has finally provided, and ensure every dollar of your budget is working as hard as possible. Thank you for your attention, and I wish you the best of luck in your sculpting journey. If your advertising isn't delivering the results you expect, the problem may not be the budget, it may be the strategy. At Namster Marketing, we help businesses turn advertising into a predictable growth engine. Book a free consultation with our team, and let's explore how we can help scale your results.